Hey, look, I'm here at Rolo's house. We've been playing catch with this bone. I think I'm going to give it to him because he gets pretty upset if I don't. There you go, buddy. We're going to go back and look a little bit more at what Paul has been doing on his missionary journey, his second one. Let's bring up the map. Here we were, right up here in the city of Philippi. That's where he got jailed last week. From there, he leaves and goes to Thessalonica. He has trouble there too. They run him out of town. But later on, remember the book of 1st and 2nd Thessalonians? He writes those books to the people right there living there. He goes on to Berea. In Berea, the people were of a more noble spirit. They searched the scriptures, that means the Old Testament, to make sure that what Paul was teaching them was the truth. He loved it in Berea, but he left there and he went on to Athens. Down in Athens, do you know what? They had statues of pagan gods everywhere there. It was very hard for Paul to teach in the city of Athens. And he went to Corinth, where he met two people, a husband and wife, by the name of Aquila and Priscilla, who were tent makers by trade. And actually, Paul was a tent maker also. So he stayed there in the city of Corinth. Eventually, he writes the books of 1st and 2nd Corinthians to the people living in Corinth. And he stays there and he works with Aquila and Priscilla for a year and a half. He leaves there, goes to Ephesus, returns to Jerusalem, then back up to Antioch to report what he had done. A little while later, Paul leaves again. We have no idea who went with him that time, but he returns to the city of Ephesus, where he stays and he preaches for 3 years. He really wants to get back to Jerusalem to let the brotherhood there know what's going on in the Gentile world, even though he is warned by numerous people that if he returns, he's going to be put in jail. But you know what? To do the right thing is more important to Paul than even his own safety. And so he leaves Ephesus and he returns to Jerusalem. And there, of course, he is put in jail. He is eventually put on a ship to go to Rome. And we learned that in our second lesson that we had about the shipwreck. That's when Paul is shipwrecked and on the island of Malta. And eventually he does go to a Roman jail. And that's just about the end of our story with Paul. And one thing that we want to take away from the city of Paul, if we could have our next, thank you. So the most important thing that no matter what, Paul wanted to teach the message of salvation through Jesus Christ to both the Jews and the Gentiles. God was his life. Jesus Christ was his salvation. And he wanted to share that with as many people as he could. Next week, we're going to switch a little bit and we're going to start looking at the life of Jesus. That's going to be a really, really great set of lessons. Well, we're going to learn to know personally Jesus Christ and his ministry. But before we go, how about if we have a little bit of, next screen please, trivia fun. I've got 10 questions for you. Each question is going to be an A answer, a B answer, or a C answer. Let's see if you can get them right. Here we go. First question. What two things happened to Saul, remember that was his name before he changed it to Paul, on the road to Damascus? A, did he fall off his horse and break his leg? B, did he see a great light and hear the voice of the Lord? Or C, was he beaten by robbers and left for dead? But answer A, answer B, or answer C. If you have a piece of paper, write down your answer. All you have to put is A, B, or C. Let's bring up the right answer and see if we got it right. Oh, it was B. He saw a great light and he heard the voice of the Lord. That voice of the Lord said, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And he said, who are you, Lord? And the Lord said, I am Jesus whom you've been persecuting. He never did that again. And he always felt sorry for that his entire life. Question 2, 3. 2. While in Joppa, Peter had a vision. What was it that he saw? Was it A, a sheet with animals on it? B, a flying horse? Or C, a Roman soldier begging for help? Remember, this is Peter, not Paul. Remember, he was in Joppa with his friend. Was it A, B, or C? Let's see the answer. It was A. It was the sheet with animals. Clean animals, unclean animals. Those unclean animals represented the Gentiles. God said, go ahead, Peter, take and eat. He said, no, I've never eaten anything unclean in my entire life. But God was really trying to tell him that Gentiles were his people too. Question number 3. Cornelius, the centurion, was a Roman Gentile, B, a Jewish rabbi, or C, an Egyptian sailor. Just a hint, he's going to be one of the very first Gentile conversions to Christianity. Let's see, was it A? It was A. Very good. If you got A, I'm very proud of you. Let's look at question number 4. Who went with Paul on his first missionary journey? Was it A, Timothy, B, Barnabas, or C, Benjamin? We mentioned this one last week. You should know that it was B, Barnabas. All right, did you put B? I did when I first did this test. All right, number 5. In what city did they throw stones at Paul? Was that A, in Fresno? Was that in Cyprus, B? Or C, was that in Lystra? Whichever city it was in, that's the letter that you want to put. A for Fresno, B for Cyprus, or C for Lystra. What's the correct answer? Lystra. We knew that one, didn't we, kids? Yeah. Okay, question 6. What message was Paul and Barnabas taking to the Jews and the Gentiles? A, salvation through Jesus Christ. B, the law of Moses. Or C, how to make a tent. Which of those answers is the right answer? A, B, or C? Let's see what it is. Oh, it's A. Salvation through Jesus Christ was their message. Question number 7. Who went with Paul on his second missionary journey? Remember, Barnabas decided that he wanted to take John Mark, and they went off to Cyprus. Paul chose one of these 3 men, A, John Mark, B, Silas, or C, James. Which one was it? A, B, or C? Reveal, please. It was Silas. All right, question number 8. What vision did Paul have when he was in Troas? Was it A, a vision of the Holy Spirit? B, the vision of a man from Macedonia? Or C, a vision of his sister? If it was his sister, she was saying, Paul, you should stop that. Don't hit me anymore. Yeah, that's what my sister used to say to me. All right, reveal. B, the vision of a man from Macedonia. Next question, number 9. What was it that Lydia sold? Remember from our video last week? What was it? Should she sell A, bread and cereal, B, purple fabrics, or C, tents? Which one was Lydia? She was a seller of purple fabrics. Very nice. Last question, kids. Here it is. What were Paul and Silas doing while they were in jail at midnight? Remember, they had been beaten. They couldn't sleep. A, were they crying and complaining? B, were they trying to sleep? Or C, were they singing? That was one of my favorite parts of last week's video. Let's see what it was. And they were singing in jail. All right, I hope you enjoyed having a little bit of trivia. I always enjoy trivia night when we have that together. I can't wait for us to get back together and do that again. We're going to have a memory verse. Let's see what that is. It's Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the right time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Don't give up, kids. We'll be back together again soon. I love you, love you. I'll see you later. Bye.